there's something deeply disturbing going on in many parts of our country that is now becoming a big trend. And tonight I want to talk about it. It's not one instance here or one instance there. Different people may want to give it different names, may want to give you different excuses, may want to give you different labels for what is going on. But to me, it's just hate. Hate that is now getting promoted, divisive hate that is spreading, divisive hate that when one segment does, the other takes inspiration and does the same. Divisive hate that has become a problem for youngsters in this country that doesn't even allow them to talk to anybody or move with anybody, travel with anybody who may be of a different religion. This communal hate that is now coming to the fore, that isn't hidden in people's, deep down people's hearts or minds anymore, that is out there in the open and is being asserted, is a very, very dangerous trend. A Hindu boy who was traveling with a Muslim girl was stopped on the way on a two-wheeler. They were asked who they were, where they were going by a bunch of Muslims. And when they realized what they obviously suspected, they began to slap and trash and humiliate that boy for traveling with a girl from another religion. This took place in Hyderabad 3 days ago. All that these two youngsters were doing were traveling, riding on a two-wheeler in broad daylight, and they were stopped, asked how they could travel together. The girl was humiliated, the girl was threatened. They said, we'll call your parents, we'll tell them what you're up to. And the boy was beaten up. This is the second such incident which has happened in Telangana in just the last 15 days. The second such incident. On September 8th, 5 people had similarly stopped two people who were on a bike, similarly beaten up the man, taken him to an isolated spot. The girl, the woman who was there at that point, had to call her brother, her own family, to come and rescue this man. Just this month, similarly, 2 miscreants stopped a Hindu man and a Muslim woman on a bike in Bengaluru, simply to harass, for no other reason, just as an opportunity to assert, I don't know what, whatever kind of religion they think they follow. To insult them, to threaten, intimidate these people, ask them questions, make a video, share that video, brag about it, and feel proud for some reason. There have been more instances. In Hyderabad, similarly, a Hindu boy was trashed for traveling with a Muslim girl. Right-wing activists, similarly, in this month itself in Karnataka, attacked 3 people, a man and 2 women who were sitting and eating food. And they had actually gone to get their seized car released from the court. These guys came from out of nowhere, saw people from different religions, attacked them in a court when they were out for court work. 6 paramedical students were attacked by another group while they were on a visit to temple, because the students belong from different communities and apparently this wasn't acceptable. A 23-year-old was stabbed for traveling with a friend from another religion. Stabbed when they were traveling from Mangaluru to Bengaluru. In all of these incidents, there is just one thing in common. People are now being stopped, targeted in public places, not even in isolated places, not even in dark places. This is no moral police that is landing up at hotels to check if there are couples there, if there are lovers there. This is no moral police anymore that is doing the round, taking the rounds of a park to spot couples and target them. They're now out on the streets and stopping people, asking them their name, identifying their religion, and then just beating. What is going on, and why are we taking this so lightly? Why are we allowing peddlers of hate at every level to continue? Why are we allowing politicians to use this to build their own political narratives, but not fix the problem, but not instill a fear in people, not remind people that law and order exists in this country, that this is a democratic country where not only do you have a freedom to follow the religion that you want to, you also have the freedom to talk to whoever you want to, of whichever faith, whichever caste, whatever background. Not even your parents once you're an adult, not even your parents, not even your family, not your friends, not your boss, not the police, not your state, not your minister can stop you if you're not breaking a law. Then what gives right to these people in state after state to go around behaving like the hate police? Let me go across to Shamit to give you more details of this specific instance. Shamit, second such instance that has happened. What is going on in Hyderabad?
Well, Tanvi, in a shocking vigilante incident, attack a person, a young boy, actually. They both were friends, actually. They were traveling from an area called Toli Chowki to Mehdipatnam. And meanwhile, this is an actually densely Muslim populated area. There, that bike was stopped by a Muslim person and asking them their names, and later, when they, got the confirmation that that boy was a Hindu, even the other Muslims have gathered there, they started beating him up, they thrashed him, also abused that Muslim girl for traveling along with a Hindu boy, and later this incident has reached to the police station, and police have lodged a complaint. Actually, the boy was very much panicked that he was actually not resident of Hyderabad city. He was from a district and he was staying here. And, they have said that he has given a statement that actually he was traveling on bike along with his friend. But, along with, at this time of, this traveling, he was stopped, and his just mistake was traveling with a friend from another community. And, at that spot, they have thrashed him, abused him. Also, the Muslim girl was, abused, and her parents were called in, and all these incidents happened. And this is the second incident, and for the first incident we have seen.
Is it Shamit? Is it the same? Is it the same area? Is it the same set of people at least? These two incidents. Is there anything in common apart, of course, from the fact the religion of the two people involved?
No, Tanvi, actually, the first incident was from the Nizamabad district of Telangana state, and this is from the state capital that is in Hyderabad city, and we can also call it as in Hyderabad city. This was happened in the Toli Chowki area, in the city itself, and where that incident happened, and even it was happened on the broad daylight on the main road, and no one came to help that boy who was being thrashed because of his religion. And even in the first incident it happened same. He was on official work, actually going to a government hospital to get a geo copy. He's a staff nurse, and his colleague, Muslim woman, was also a staff nurse. They were brutally, attacked. He was brutally attacked, kidnapped, confined for many hours, and even 5 accused have been arrested in that case. And in the second instance, one person has been already summoned and he has been taken into custody. Police said that the investigation is going on. We can't reveal further details, but we will be arresting all the accused persons who were seen in the video beating and all these incidents who were involved, and very soon that too. And we are using the first accused person to identify all the other accused who can be seen.
Okay, Shamit, thanks so much for bringing us, insights on the latest incident and also the previous one that took place. I say good evening to Abhishek Jagini of the BJP, Bachu Srinivas of the TRS, Prem Kishan Jain, former Additional Director General of Police in Maharashtra, joining me this evening, Shashidhar Vupalla, social activist as well. Let me actually go across to Mr. Srinivas first. Mr. Bachu Srinivas, what explains these instances, and is this becoming a growing concern for your party?
No, it is no way concern to the party, or it is a situation which has taken place in the society. It is between the two religions which has taken. We have seen now with the visuals also. It is no, it is not concerned. Everybody, see, under humanitarian grounds, everybody will condemn the issue which is happened. It is, we cannot make it as a politically, we cannot see it as a politically, we cannot politicalize these things. These are the things which are happening in the society only due to the feeling which are coming by the by themselves of the people, especially in Hyderabad, in that old city. People will show this. This is not the first or second incident. Regularly in the last 1 or 2 years, I believe more than 10 incidents have taken place in that particular area, especially friends, inter-religious, either Muslim boy or Hindu girl, or Hindu boy or Muslim girl, who will go to that area where the thickly populated area this is happening. Whenever it takes place, definitely now the guy is not even went to the station, or he has not given any kind of complaint against them, but only by seeing this viral, by seeing this, I think the government, the police people have taken action against them. One is already arrested, the others are going to be arrested soon. And anyway, this kind of culture is not correct. This should not happen anywhere, not only in Hyderabad, not only in Bangalore, not only in Madras, not only in Hyderabad. We are all humans. Religion is a way to reach the God, I believe. This should not happen in any case. I really personally, and if I personally, politically, and socially, this is the condemned issue. And I request all the Muslim leaders or Muslim people who are the religious elders, this kind of thing should not have happen. They should request their children or who are doing this kind of things. Tanvi.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and if you say that, and you know, possibly there will always be areas where things are a lot more sensitive, where you know, the response is a lot more communal, but it should not happen in 2021. And as from, and with not really politicizing it, but to say, but I am saying that it will also be the responsibility of local authorities, local leaders, the state, to bring about that awareness amongst people, to bring about that understanding in people that this is not okay. But increasingly, Shashidhar Bopalla, what we are looking at is the exact opposite. I feel people are becoming more brazen. They are emboldened today that they can actually get out on the street, do this, brag about it, record a video, put it on social media, and actually become a star of some kind. Shashidhar.
Yeah, nowadays we are seeing many such incidents in our surrounding cities, and also it is very unfortunate to witness the same in Hyderabad, which is, you know, meant for, you know, unity and diversity, because we have you know, Hyderabad is one of the, you know, the city has people from all over, from all across. So these kind of incidents increases hatredness in people. So as the police authorities should take stringent measures. You know, they have to conduct they have to conduct sessions they have to conduct awareness programs to people in particular, especially because this religious hatredness, if we look at one particular section of society or one particular religion, this is not going to stop. So there is no end for this. So definitely it is the responsibility of every individual, and the more responsibility is on the governments, the local authorities there. So whenever these incidents happen, so immediately it needs to be addressed within no time, and there should be measures so that these will not repeat in future. And finally, as a citizen, we condemn these kind of incidents. So whether it is X religion or Y religion, so we don't want to get into that and do it, politicize it for political benefits.
Yeah,
so
but that's what happens. Unfortunately, it gets politicized, and one of the other political party will take this as an opportunity to build their own narrative. Now, if we have to go by that logic, Abhishek Jagini, then we will just have to abandon any interaction between people of different faiths and communities. I mean, I don't believe in the term love jihad, but your party does. So another party will now stand up and say this is reverse love jihad, will try and legitimize it in any other way. The point of the matter is that can two people of different faith not even talk, stand on the road, talk to each other, get on a two-wheeler, move from one location to the other without them being identified basis what they are wearing and then being beaten?
That is what is our reality today. Unfortunately, we as a society have evolved to a social setup where such incidents are not just isolated, but reflect the collective mindset of a community or a group of people. If these happen occasionally, if these happen rarely, then we can look at it isolated. But when these are regular and when we see a pattern in this, it is a very sad precedent that we are letting this happen. For example, when such an incident has happened last week in Bengaluru, the Chief Minister of Bengaluru has categorically stated through social media platforms that the accused have been arrested and that his government would deal with this thing with iron fist, because Bengaluru has an image of a cosmopolitan city. It is on the global map. When we here in Hyderabad want to bring in international arbitration center, when we want to bring in international corporations, this image is going to tarnish the image of Hyderabad globally, the brand Hyderabad globally. So such repeated incidents are not just incidents of crime, but such people, these peddlers of hatred and separatism, are planting poisonous seeds of separatism in young minds. These young minds undergo so much of trauma. As a batchmate, as a college friend, or as a school friend, they have all right to go around with people for be it academic purposes or for their general, time pass or whatever. But this has crossed the level of moral policing, where they are taking law into their hand and physical assault. And the people just standing around and not trying to stop shows that the mindset of the entire locality, the geographic strata itself is wrong. This I would blame firstly on the government, because the government needs to induce the fear of the power of law. That law and order is our priority.
So
we will not just...
So tell me, okay, if you're going to blame the government, which I think all states need to take responsibility. In March in Bengaluru, a similar incident happened where a 23-year-old was stabbed for traveling with a Muslim friend from Mangaluru to Bengaluru. In September, there was another incident in Bantwal where students were actually attacked, a group of students with different faiths, from different faiths, for actually visiting a temple. In September, again in Karnataka, 3 people were attacked while they were eating food. And 1 man, 2 women, different communities, that became a problem. So, you telling me that one single incident where Mr. Chief Minister put out something on social media is not really going to solve the problem, Abhishek. There is a larger issue even in Karnataka, as it is in Telangana, as it will be in Uttar Pradesh, or perhaps even in Maharashtra tomorrow.
I know Uttar Pradesh is a very, very fancy name nowadays because the elections is upcoming and every incident will be used to spin the voters there.
No, actually, Uttar Pradesh has actually seen a spate of such instances. The self-appointed groups there from...
I'm well informed about it.
Call it love jihad if you don't know.
Coming back to our topic of Karnataka and Telangana here, I mean to say that the leadership needs to make it clear to the public that this is unacceptable. Yes, the police department will protect the law and order. It will take its due course of action. The judiciary is there. But to bring it to justice takes a certain amount of time. As a political influencer, as somebody in a responsible position, those holding high offices of the government, they need to give a call for such incidents not to happen. So I'm not claiming any sanctimoniousness that it didn't happen in our state, but how we respond to it shows the difference in the leadership. And that is where I insist and request that the government of this state, the leaders of this state, give a message, call out for a message of social harmony, and also reinstate and reiterate and articulate it well that incidents like this will not be tolerated, because it is both the Muslim students as well as the Hindu students and students of all community of Hyderabad who will be affected tomorrow if this tarnishes the image of brand Hyderabad globally and nationally and even locally.
Mr. Prem Kishan Jain, good evening to you. This is becoming a big issue because it seems people are not scared. They believe some or the other group, a left-wing group or a right-wing group, a pro-Hindu group or a pro-Muslim group, a political party, somebody will come and support them, back them, and actually reward them for this kind of hate. Is that going to be a big challenge then for the police authorities?
Tanvi, good evening. To me, as an ex-police officer, it is not a challenge at all. This is a pure and simple matter of law enforcement in the local areas. The police leadership has to be very clear that this kind of gundaism cannot be tolerated. The stringent most action can be taken against these people and must be taken against these people in the shortest possible time. We have a spokesperson from the TRS here. The sincerity of the government should be shown by arresting as many people as possible in the shortest possible time, and then not only booking them in under substantive sections of law, IPC, but also taking preventive action against them. There are n number of sections available to the government. I can quote a whole lot of sections which can be applied against such people effectively, so that if we take stringent action and immediate action in one case, I can tell you the entire city can go quiet within no time. So I would only call it a failure on the part of the police, on the part of the administration. They must act decisively and with a very, very heavy hand. I'm not mincing any words. If any police officer is worth his salt, then the stringent most action should be taken against these people so that everybody is taught a lesson. And then an appeal to the leadership that, and no interference, political interference should be tolerated in such matters. If anybody tries to call up or if anybody tries to support a particular group, the stardom of these gundas, you said that these people become stars or they become heroes, their stardom can be shed within no time. I can tell you from experience. So it is only a failure on the part of the administration and the concerned police officers.
But there are now, Mr. Jain, organized groups whose actually job is to keep a tab on what is happening to the youngsters in their community. They keep a tab on who's traveling with whom. There was an instance in Karnataka that was reported that showed that there was a couple traveling overnight bus. This group stopped them, pulled them out, stabbed the guy. There are these groups who function in a way that even before the couple is able to reach the court and register the marriage if they want, adults by the way, some or the other group will land up there, beat the man, call the police, threaten the girl, insult her, humiliate her and hand her over to her family as if she has no choice of her own. This seems to be an organized setup, Mr. Jain. Will it really be that simple to dismantle it?
Tanvi, I am being very specific. These people draw their strength from political parties. They draw their strength from some social outfits, the so-called social outfits, who support them at the drop of a hat.
Correct.
Even for all the wrong activities and for all the violations of law. I am telling you very clearly, these kind of things have been handled by me as personally as a police officer. These things can be handled by any police officer. In this particular case in which you are saying that the bus was stopped and he was stabbed and all that, why could immediate action not be taken? And this should be made public that we are taking this kind of a stringent action against them. And once one group is dismantled and taught a lesson, I can assure you that the people learn very fast. Nobody can face the consequences of law. I mean, we can impose so many sections on the guy and we can chase him to the hill. So it is if a policeman and if the administration is committed, these kind of things can be stopped within no time. I can guarantee that. I mean, I'm talking from experience.
Okay, good to know that, but I hope that takes place. As I say, good evening to Mr. Kinshuk Nag, senior journalist joining me right now. Before I go across to Mr. Nag, let me quickly get a response from Bachchu Srinivas, because at the end of the day, Mr. Srinivas, it will be about messaging from the state, loud and clear messaging, to
Absolutely.
Tell the people
Absolutely.
that this will not be tolerated even for a bit. It may have happened in the past, it may be a repeated affair in older parts of the city, but it will not be tolerated anymore.
I'll tell you, this is not the repeated case, or only recently we have seen in one Nizamabad. There also the case was registered. Even in Hyderabad, in this case, the person who has taken, the guy who is Hindu guy, he did not went to the police, I believe. Police themselves, by seeing the this kind of viral, which has viraled in social media, by seeing that, police get registered the case and already one is get arrested. See, in Telangana, in the last 7.5 years, peace and harmony as maintained in Hyderabad, especially communal peace and harmony. Nowhere it is not happened. Telangana government cannot be tolerated any kind of this kind of issues or situations. Telangana government will not involve any political parties, any political things. We definitely take proper action and immediate action. We take care of the peace and harmony of the Hyderabad, and this is the Cosmo metropolitan city, and especially this is the IT hub, and throughout India, it is one of the best IT hub, and different parts of people to come and do the jobs in Hyderabad. So we have a lot of police team, police force in many ways. We are taking care. 13 kind of police people are roaming around the city to take care of the city. In that way, we are taking care.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Kinshuk Nag then. Mr. Nag, the point that I'm trying to make, and I would want to understand from you, is what is basic trigger in each of these places that is emboldening these people? Hate may have been deep down inside people's minds and hearts for a while, but it's when do you give them the impression that they can actually get away by expressing it?
They think they can get away with it because the police does not take strong action, because the police is caught between two parties, between the ruling party and the Bharatiya Janata Party, and says they don't know which side they should take. In Telangana, one of the things you have to note is that the Bharatiya Janata Party is trying to strengthen itself. And therefore, the politics of this place has become slightly dicey. And the old realities are no longer there. So this is what is happening. The police does not take action because it does not get a free hand or doesn't take free hand. And the parties are at loggerheads. So I don't know what the Telangana Rashtra Samiti is doing. It is also had for so long dependent on the Muslims for its vote bank. And even now probably they would want to, but at the same time they would not want to be too soft towards them. And on the other hand, you have got the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is not strong, which is not, who take the Hindus as their core strength. And therefore all matters regarding Hindus come up. For instance, there is a so-called temple of Bhagya Lakshmi outside the Charminar, and that had become a major issue in the city when Amit Shah came visiting 2-3 months ago. So now the whole politics is getting communalized. And in that situation, how you can try to blame somebody, etc., I don't know. So this is the basic point. The police is unable to take action because they don't know which way they should take action. And the political parties are having fun because they have got their vote banks. So they want to have their vote bank. The Telangana Rashtra Samiti has been in power for the last 7 years and it wants to, I don't know whether it wants to be in power or not, but I suppose they don't want to be. And the BJP is emboldened to try its chance and coming to power. And the Congress party, of course, is not existent at all in that sense. So this, in a sense, explains the situation, if you ask me.
Okay. Mr. P.K. Jain wanted to make a point, and then I'll go across to Bachu Srinivas. Yes.
Tanvi, the gentleman from the TRS has been repeatedly saying that an offence has been registered. See, offence has been registered. That is only the beginning of the whole thing. Till the time an effective action is taken and immediate arrests are made, and then effective preventive action is taken, these kind of things will not stop. What I'm saying is registration of an, even if the boy had not gone to the police station, the police has acted on their own. There is a provision in the CRPC and IPC that the police officer can become a complainant and lodge a complaint, which probably in this case has been done. But action, arresting only one person when a whole mob was there, arrest as many people. Maximum action in first point of time is the key to this kind of incidents. If they really want to prevent, he only mentioned that there are 10 incidents in the last about 1 year. If this is the case that so many incidents have taken place, it is all the more reason for the government to wake up and take stringent action against such mischief mongers, such goons. I would call them goons only, because they draw their strength from whichever political party or group they do. Everybody should be taken to task. And in this matter, the government or the local political parties must not interfere, and the police officer worth his salt would not brook any interference in his job. He has to maintain law and order in that area, and he has to do it effectively.
Yes, Mr. Srinivas.
No, I see the things which are happening, I am talking. The things which can happen, I can say. See, we all the time we worry about the state, entire state. We take care of the peace and harmony. People are saying that we are not taking any action, and if we don't take the action, how can we already registered the case? See, we never tolerate anybody. We never politicize. We never excuse anybody. Now the the journalist said telling that TRS party is worrying about the Muslim votes. We have whatever the strength we required, we won the seats in the state. We never worry about the particular community. We worry about the entire Telangana state. We have such a strength force in the entire state. We are least bothered about the particular community. We worry about all the communities. It is not mean that we are neglecting the people who are doing the crime from such community. We never excuse, we never entertain. The law will take its own care. It will go and take the action.
Okay, well, the political parties always claim so, but at the end of the day, the arithmetic on caste and community basis always comes into play, and then you decide on whom to go harder and whom to go softer, when to look the other way. I think people are extremely aware of that fact. In fact, before I get the BJP in, I do want to ask Shashidhar to also come in on this fact. Shashidhar, is politics actually vitiating the atmosphere more and more by the day, even in metropolitan cities and cosmopolitan cities?
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Although these incidents are, these are not pre-planned, or these are not occurring in, that way, but there seems to be a lot of political, advantage taking out of it. So we see a lot of political advantage taking by both the parties in the state, that is Bharatiya Janata Party and the ruling TRS party. But what we as citizens, or we as society, what we would require is harmony and peace.
A small submission, Tanvi. How can a political party is going to take the advantage from these kind of incidents?
Because I
think BJP may be able to give you some insights on it, or even an AIMIM, Congress party, TMC. That is if you want to believe, and if you want us to believe that the TRS doesn't know how to do it. You just have to take a look at what happened in the run-up to the local body polls in Hyderabad last year, Mr. Srinivas.
No, he's not so naive. He's not so naive.
Yes, Shashidhar.
What measures TRS has taken from the Nizamabad incident? So, what preventive measures have you taken? Because this has happened in the broad daylight in the city. So, you are saying that you are telling the Sumoto case has been registered, but that is not the case. Hyderabad is it is a metropolitan city, and what kind of security and what kind of atmosphere that you are giving to the people. So that is more important. So taking a Sumoto case, and you are saying that immediately you are acting on it. So as a police officer has stated that we need stringent action, and it should be very quick, and a crisp action should be taken.
Yes, Mr. Srinivas.
See, one thing I can say, government, blaming is simple. Blaming is so simple. Anybody can blame. That is not a big issue. I'll tell you. I'm promising. I'm telling you. Only one thing I can promise. See, recently, so many another crime, another kind of crime is also happened recently. What way of government is responded? Everybody knows in Telangana. Now I am telling, in this case also, government is going to be respond very seriously, and things are going to be taken by the government.
No, so you know what? Blaming is actually, you're right. Blaming is simple, but so is the action in such cases to clamp down on such cases. Messaging is very simple. Show us speedy action. Show us action in cases where a couple, or whether they're a couple or not, two people from different communities traveling together are stopped, targeted, humiliated, threatened, beaten up. Show us that you actually mean by putting the entire group of people behind bars in 24 hours. Make noise about it. The second time it's not going to happen, Mr. Srinivas. It's plain and simple. But if they think they can get away, and once they come out, some other political party is going to come and reward them, Abhishek, and garland them and make heroes out of them, then it's not going to work, right? Then there is always an incentive. Political parties cannot absolve themselves from the fact that the atmosphere today is vitiated because of them. Because they play politics of communalism, they play politics of religion, they play politics of love jihad, they play politics of reverse love jihad. They are the ones who are dividing country and driving this thought in the minds of people that, look, it is okay to assert your religion in this manner.
Love jihad as a term has been first coined and articulated by the Honorable High Court of Kerala, followed by the Honorable High Court of Karnataka. Unfortunate is that we don't want to accept and acknowledge.
Please do not peddle lies on my show. It is not. It has not been coined by any court. Neither has it been legitimized by any court. In fact, just to set the record straight, it is the High Court of Kerala that gave the right to the Muslim woman that she has the choice to decide whether she wants to marry that Hindu man or not. The Hadia case is extremely famous. Please, let's not peddle lies on this show. There is only one political party that has repeatedly sought to legitimize this term, and that is your political party.
It is okay. It is okay because certain issues of the Hindus, we don't want to get into the mainstream. Only because, unfortunately, the Hindus are in a larger number. Their issues don't matter to us because we don't want to capitalize on those. That is not the vote bank politics of several parties. For all these decades, the rights of the Hindus have been suppressed. And now when we come here and when we are able to consolidate through a political voice the pertinent issues of the Hindu community, we are labeled as communal. We are happy. We are very happy if you want to label us as communal. We reflect all the challenges and all the issues of the society, but that doesn't mean that only to, appease a certain section or especially the minorities, we will be silent and mum on the Hindu issues. No. When it comes to the primary interests of the Hindus and the Indian culture, we will speak about it. You can very well blame us for love jihad, but yes, on record,
your culture involves targeting youngsters and beating them up and putting innocent people, separating innocent people, destroying marriages, destroying relationships in the name of religion, allowing people to take law in their own hands. That's your culture.
We need a mature discussion. This is a baseless argument.
How is this a baseless argument? Tell me.
So what?
We are actually talking about mobs that target people in the name of religion. And you seek to claim that that is your culture.
Talking about it rationally, talking about it in discussion forums, discussing about it is not wrong. Taking action into your hands, law into your hands, beating somebody on the road is a crime. Whoever does it. Period. But yes, we need to discuss pertinent issues. That there is no alternate to that. In right forums like this, we need to discuss what are the social challenges, what are the social issues, how a government or how a political party, how we collectively can solve issues. Yes, we need to discuss.
Isn't what Abhishek is saying here tonight, Mr. Kingshuk Nag, and the last word to you, also proof of the fact when you stand up and say this is a social issue that we want to talk about and we will represent the majority and we will do what needs to be done, come what you say, you are emboldening people to go out there and take law in their own hands, and then the other side responds to it. Abhishek, the question to Kingshuk Nag, please.
Yeah, it is a social issue and it can't be left just to the people, and they can't say that we are a majority or minority. We are living in this country which has got a constitution, and you can't just say that we are a majority, so we shall do anything and the minorities will do nothing. So basically, we should have an impartial law and order system to ensure that all people have rights, and we can't play politics in the name of majority and minority. You are playing politics in the right of, you have to validate the right of individuals. and you have to go by that, and can't bring in this majority politics and minority politics here. And that is unfortunately what is happening in the country in the last few years. And people think in terms of Hindu and Muslim. Why should anybody bother to think in terms of who's Hindu, who's a Muslim? We are living in a secular democratic country, and so therefore the rights of an individual is his right. Whether he's a Hindu or a Muslim is a different issue. That is a fact we are all forgetting all the time and communalizing our politics. And all political parties are responsible. And the Janta of the country are also getting led by them. And the police, of course.
Yes, and you know, at the end of the day, if you find these jobless people something more constructive to do so that they can earn a decent livelihood, I don't think they will be standing on the streets or at traffic signals stopping people and asking them, what's your religion? You see a couple on a two-wheeler, you see that the woman is wearing a burqa, you see that the man doesn't look like he's from the same religion. Let's stop them. What are these people doing out there on the streets? Why are they so jobless that the only motivation they have in life is to stop people riding on two-wheelers and beat them, record videos of it and share it all over, thinking that they can get away with it? Whether it's in Hyderabad or Nizamabad or in Bengaluru or in Mangaluru or in Bhopal or in Lucknow or Kanpur or Delhi or Noida. What is going on? And why are we so accepting of this? We get into arguments, we bring about whataboutery, we say what happened when the other religion was doing it, why were you silent then, why were you silent during Congress's time, why were you silent when it was a Hindu, why were you silent when it was a Muslim, why don't you talk about this? We bring in arguments of whataboutery, we bring in arguments of politics. If the BJP does it, or the AIMIM does it, or the TRS does it, but the DMK doesn't do it, but the JDS doesn't do it, TMC may or may not, who is more secular, who is more communal? We will talk all of that, but not address the basic issue that because of all of these narratives that we build and cases that we promote, we are actually only endorsing hate of one kind or the other. And at the core of it, it's just hate and nothing else. Doesn't matter what religion, doesn't matter what community, doesn't matter which ideology or which political party. This hate must stop. Thank you for joining us.